I'd like to take this time to address the issue of these stupid kids on the internet who have all these different ideas about things of which they are really just clueless and have no knowledge whatsoever. Kids nowadays are so high and so stupid from just playing video games all the time and all these stupid text devices that they use. Their brains are just gone. They're just not even thinking properly because they're all skewed from all the aforementioned activities and drinking all kinds of sodas that have insane amounts of caffeine and all kinds of other crap like yellow number 75 and green number 2706. These kids are just so off the wall bananas that they hear things over the internet, and rather than think for themselves, they just repeat whatever it is that they hear. They latch onto something and then they take it as if it were the truth. They take it at face value. I'll give you an example. There's this thing going around the internet about Bloods gangs not riding with the Five. And you'll see these stupid kids who don't know anything about gangs. They don't come from gang-ridden or gang-plagued neighborhoods. They're just kids from the suburbs who see something on the internet and they believe it. They'll hear something from who they think is a reputable gang member, I guess, some kind of reputed gang member, supposedly, somebody, and then they think that they have some kind of knowledge. I mean, what kind of kid is on the web and then all of a sudden thinks that he knows something or she knows something about gangs just because it's something that's on the internet? First of all, what these stupid kids ought to know is that a majority of people who are in the streets, they don't go to school. They're hustling on the streets for a reason. I mean, how many gang members do you know of who graduated from high school with more than a GED? I mean, come on, think about it, you dumbass suburban kids. I mean, really, seriously, somebody who you think is cool because he claims to be in a gang says something on the internet, and then you in the suburbs, you're like, yeah, I'm a suburban kid and I read this thing on the internet and now I know about gangs. No, you don't. You read something from someone who's hustling on the streets who didn't graduate from high school. You read something from someone who can barely spell, if at all, and you take that as knowledge. What kind of idiot class are you creating for yourselves? You know, I mean, come on, man, use your head, you stupid fucking numbskull, dumb fucking pieces of shit. I mean, think about what you're promulgating. Think about the kind of information that you're circulating around the web. You're just making shit up, man. The Bloods don't ride with the Fives. Where do you get this? Who told you this? Somebody in Chicago? I'm a Blood from the West Coast originally. I lived in Chicago and I rode with the Five. Yeah, I rode with Vice Lords exclusively when I was in Chicago. My brother's a Vice Lord and I'm a Blood, and I rode with Vice Lords, with the Five. As you stupid dumb fucking kids from the suburbs keep saying on the internet isn't a fact and isn't the truth. Bloods don't ride with the Five. First of all, you don't even know what the Five is. Secondly, you don't even know what Vice Lords are. Thirdly, you don't know what Bloods are. So what? There's some Vice Lords in Chicago who are dismayed because some Bloods on the West Coast are disorganized. Or they say some Bloods on the East Coast are disorganized. And so that bothers some Vice Lords, and they say, okay, we don't honor all blood sets, therefore Bloods don't ride with the Five. Talk to every Vice Lord in Chicago and take a poll and see if this is true. How many Bloods are there from California who have gone out to Chicago, and who do you think they roll with? Gangster disciples? You think Bloods from Los Angeles, California, Washington State, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, British Columbia? You think Bloods in Nevada, Bloods in Arizona, Bloods in New York? You think when they go to Chicago, most of the Bloods, most of the B-Dogs get down with the organization that wears blue? No. So shut the fuck up talking about Bloods don't ride with the 5. Red rides with red. Bloods ride with Vice Lords. Vice Lords ride with Bloods. Yeah, there might be some Vice Lords who roll with Crips and Blue Flaggers. There's Crips who have brothers who are Gangster disciples. There's Bloods like myself who have brothers who are Gangster disciples or Vice Lords. So, that's what you don't know. Yet, here you are on the internet running your fucking gums, bumping your gums, talking all this shit about Bloods don't ride with the 5. And you're posting all these little notices and all these little bulletins around the web like you know some shit about gangs. If you're such a fucking gang expert, why don't you get up off your fucking fat obese ass, little fucking pork rind eating ass, little Mountain Dew fucking guzzling little punk ass, monkey mouth ass, and go get a fucking job working for the government in gang intelligence. Why don't you go and become a police officer in your neighborhood and fight crime and learn something about gang intelligence instead of these dumbass little bulletins you're posting on the fucking internet like you know some shit about fucking gangs. Yeah, Bloods don't ride with the 5, huh? So that means that at the game, the rapper Jayceon Taylor comes out from LA and gets down with some homies in Chicago. You mean to tell me he's not going to be riding with the 5? He's not going to be riding with some Vice Lords. He's not going to be riding with some cats who are flying red flags. Come on, man, get with the fucking program. You got these bulletins, man, these little things on YouTube with these little things that you're trying to get people to believe. You're trying to post this shit and you're trying to have people believe this shit of which you don't even have a clue. You're just like parrots, man. You stupid fucking kids are the cause of America being perceived as stupid nowadays, because people in places where there is intelligence, they look at you and they're like, look at these kids. Look at these kids who could be scientists, doctors, lawyers, and what are they doing? They're posting these little bulletins about Bloods riding with the 5. I mean, is that all you got? Is that the only kind of information that you think you have? And you're going to post it all over the web like a little parrot just repeating some shit, little mimicry. That's what you do. You emulate, you mimic, you copy, and then what do? You say shit in the same breath like, yeah, Asians in Japan and China, they copy us, and this and that, and or the Koreans or whatever, these different countries, they copy America. No, they innovate and they take concepts and improve upon them. You copy. That's what the fuck you do. You're some fat ass fucking chipmunk fucking faced donut stuffing fucking twizzle stick shoving up your ass fucking goon balls. That's what you are on the internet. You fucking gang lit like you know some gangster information. Fucking kids in the suburbs fucking with your little gang network information exchange and shit on YouTube trying to tell me some shit. I'm from the West Coast. Little fucking punk out on the East Coast trying to tell me I'm not from fucking the West Coast. Man, my name's Robert Lee Taylor, okay? And I'm not from the East Coast. I'm from the West Coast. And everybody on the West Coast knows that, okay? So, don't be acting like you're some kind of fucking FBI agent, like you have access to III Net and all these different sources, and that you can go ahead and tell people that I'm not from the West Coast, and that's supposed to be the reality of the situation, because it's not. Because you're from the fucking East Coast, or you're from somewhere in the suburbs, and you wish that you were from the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast, and I earn my stripes. What the fuck I say is the truth, and you know it is, and you know you get brittle, because you want to say your little stupid little hate things on the internet, and you want people to believe you, but then when I pull your fucking hoe cards and shit, you're like, oh man, bruh, you tripping. You ain't from the West Coast, I am. And you don't know shit about gangs. Just fucking get a job.